Oh man, now we got Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon was recently on his teammate Michael Porter Jr.'s podcast, talking about a litany of things. They talked about basketball stuff. They talked about off the court stuff, personal stuff. They also talked about women because, of course, why not, right?
Why not?
So, what was interesting about this conversation was Aaron Gordon talking about how he went on a date and he spotted, when his date was going through her phone, he was looking at the last thing that his date Googled, and the last thing that his date Googled was his net worth. So this was the part of the conversation that got a lot of articles being written about it. So we'll go ahead and provide a little context first. So this from Complex says Aaron Gordon says he went on date and found out she was Googling his net worth. In an interview with Michael Porter Jr. on his Curious Mike channel, Denver Nuggets forward Aaron Gordon recalled seeing a woman Googling his net worth while they were on a date. At around the 22:40 point of the interview, as seen above, Gordon was asked if he could ever see himself settling down. Quote, "Yeah, for sure," he replied. "I'll definitely settle down in 10 years. Yeah, I think I'll be married in 5 years. I've been in the NBA since I was 18, so I grew up in this. I've seen the ins and outs. I've done this, that, the third. It's exhausting. Being in the streets is exhausting. Being outside is tiring. I'm not saying marriage isn't tiring and exhausting in its own right. It is work, but if you find the right woman, it can be completely empowering. What's the king without a queen?" So that's cute, right?
Oh, hey, that's
No, I agree. I agree with it. I'm just saying that was cute. But here was that portion of the interview when they talked where Aaron Gordon talked about his experience being on his date.
I think that's what it comes down to.
It's crazy because most of the dudes in the league, like, it get hard because most of the dudes that are married, kind of in our profession, they kind of met their girl in high school, and it was their childhood sweetheart who they got married to. Guys in our position, it's hard. Like, once you have what you have and you are who you are, to meet a female who you can like trust and who you.
Man, check this out.
But look, he be going overseas, and he told me you got to go find one overseas.
Yeah, they know football over there. You know what I mean? They know soccer players. They don't really know basketball players like that. Check this out. I went on a date with this girl one time. I forget where we were going. Where was it at? Might have been in like Chicago or something like that. We went on a date. I got to the spot, right? We were just sitting at the bar, waiting for our table, getting drinks, whatever. She opened up her phone. The last thing she had on her phone was Aaron Gordon's net worth.
You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying,
You
bro?
feel me?
That's
I
sick.
was like, yo, this is wild, yo.
And females are
wild.
smart these days because they can put off an image to where, like, they don't care about that. They're not in it for the bread. They just have your best interest at heart. But man, deep down somewhere, like, if you was just a regular dude, who knows if she'd be messing with you. So how do you think you can
Hell
tell?
no, Mike. I'm trying to tell you this right now. Just like you said, like, when you get to this level, there's certain girls that mess with you just for, like, the clout, the money, that thing, the security. But no, there are real ones. There's real ones out there.
I'm going
I'd like to believe
overseas.
shit.
I'm traveling with you.
That's cute, man. He still believes.
Yeah, man, he's holding out hope, man. He said he holding out hope, man. He say it's still real ones out there.
That's nice.
It's very, very nice and sentimental.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Hey, man. I feel like what they're having right now in that conversation was conversations that we've had, here where we were talking about, pretty much the same thing, especially with NBA players and stuff like that, where if they weren't the high school sweetheart kind of thing on some Steph Curry, on some LeBron James, if it wasn't on that, then it's kind of like, hey, man, be mindful of what's going on here. But to tie into the Cam Newton saga, right, where him and his, baby mama number 3, because N-word who's got that bag, like Aaron Gordon, all right? So it's a situation where if he has that bag, a woman wouldn't mind being baby mama number one or whatever, number two or four. They wouldn't mind getting married, riding it out for all expenses paid trips that she get to go on. Once he retires, call it quits. The status quo. So, Aaron, he seems like a sharp young man. It seems like he's whatever, but his hopium of that this is going to pan out one day, that he's going to find a woman who's solid and thorough and not going to look up his net worth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Gordon. I'm sorry, Mr. Gordon. I mean, I was wishing the best for him, but he's just in a wild predicament. So I found this both funny and sad. Funny from the aspect of oh wow, it's these are guys that are on the front lines of this, and they're reporting live from the set and telling us that hey, nah, bro, it's real in the field and outside ain't no joke. All right, and the sad part about this is that man, what hope are people that are in his position? Or not even, just people out here that are dealing with this market that is putting such a heavy emphasis on a man's income versus his own morals, integrity, and how solid of a dude he is. So sad stuff, man. But hey, man, get to the bag, fellas. That's the bottom line there. What about you, bro? How you feel? How you feel about this situation?
Um, yeah, I go back to the point that I made when we discussed something related when Gilbert Arenas
Mm.
talked about how I forget the number that he said, but he was basically saying most of these NBA players are going to, their girls are going to get smashed by a teammate or something like that. The
70%.
majority. So okay, that was the number. Yeah, and what I was saying was, hey, look, man, just wait until you retire before you even take this step. And I'm just going to reiterate that here. Uh, Aaron Gordon's pain, I feel it. I feel his pain. I get it. Um, I'm a civilian and I feel a similar, approximate version of his pain, albeit I'm not in his reality. I don't got as much money as him, but I still can approximate what he is feeling. I think that his sentiments come from a genuine place. I think
Yeah.
he truly believes that, what's a king without a queen, and that there's good ones out there. I believe he believes that. I believe that he believes that.
Poor guy.
And I think that what he should do until he retires is be a single guy and just sleep with as many women as he wants and be as casual as he can with as many women as he wants until he retires. Wait until you retire. Don't do it while you're an active player because it's too much of a cesspool while you're an active player. Now, even in retirement, you're still dealing with women, or rather, even after you've retired, you're still dealing with the prospect of opportunistic women who are more attracted to the profile of Aaron Gordon and less attracted to Aaron Gordon himself. You're still dealing with that even in the midst of retirement, but you
Yeah.
give yourself a better chance for more genuineness, for more genuineness if you are retired.
Mm-hmm.
Because while you're an active player, it ain't no telling. I watched the Last Dance documentary. Jordan's talking about women waiting in the hotel lobby. I already know this goes on. My cousin used to be plugged in through business with the Miami Heat. He was around this stuff. He saw what happened. He used to tell me this kind of stuff on the low about how these women are waiting, where they know they have the scouting report on these guys. They know the hotel that these guys are staying at. They know where these guys are. They know where to be, and they know just how to look to get their attention. Um, so it is what it is. This is the world that you live in. I think you give yourself the best chance of any kind of relationship stability by just riding it out and waiting until you retire. I said in the previous topic, you lose nothing by doing that. You're not risking anything. You're not risking anything. If you retire when you're 40, so be it. You're still a former NBA player. You can get with the baddest little 22, 23-year-old girl that you can find who's going to be fertile physically in her prime, and she is going to be with it. You lose nothing. It's not like you can't get younger women because you're 40. You're a former NBA player who's rich. You literally lose nothing by waiting until you retire. There's no point in there's no point in giving into the idea that you got to cash in on this while you're an active player. You're still in physical condition. You can still get any woman pregnant. You're probably still virile, even though you're, late 30s, early 40s. People are having kids now when they're older anyway, especially men. There's no incentive for a professional athlete, especially a great one like Aaron Gordon, to get into any kind of serious relationship or marriage while you're an active player. Just wait until you retire. It's the most practical piece of advice anyone in his position can heed. Just wait until you retire. The minute you retire, go ahead and take it seriously. Because as you pointed out when we discussed Gilbert Arenas' comments, yeah, you might be dealing with the idea or possibility of opportunistic women, but at least you know that you're not dealing with a woman who is gonna be shell shocked by any sort of particular change in lifestyle
Right.
based upon the change of the money that you got coming in because you're retired and you're no longer getting that max money.
Mm-hmm.
So the money aspect of it is something that you can safeguard because she's going to have to come into it already accustomed to retirement lifestyle, not active player lifestyle. So at that point, you're still going to have to deal with the possibility that she may want to leave you to upgrade with a guy who makes more money or an active player or whatever. But hey, that's your reality, Aaron Gordon. You're going to have to live with that. You can't shirk that. There is nothing that you can do to sidestep that. That is just it. Unless you're going to go unless you're going to go to some local area and find the baddest chick in a small town or find the baddest chick working at, Bloomingdale's or Macy's, right? Like, unless you're gonna find a baddie who's working in Bloomingdale's or Macy's or something like this, if you're still gonna be fishing in the internet pool, in the Instagram model pool, in the social media influencer, in the the bottle service, in that world, if you're fishing in that world, you're going to have to deal with that regardless. So there's nothing you can do about that. But at least when you wait until you retire, you don't have to deal with the possibility of feeling as though a woman was just in it because you were able to procure a certain lifestyle for her, and now that you've retired, you can't do that anymore. If she's getting in it with you post retirement, then this is what it is. This is post retirement. Ain't no more max money. Ain't no more $100 million contracts. This is post retirement stuff, and it's going to stay like this for the rest of the duration. So I just think that he needs to chill. Yeah, I mean, Michael Porter Jr. asked him the question. So yeah, they're talking about it on the video, and that's fine. But practically speaking, bro, just wait until you retire. You lose nothing by waiting until you retire. Once you retire, go ahead and get a serious girlfriend, get married, start having kids. I don't know if he's a father or not. But the point is, wait until you retire. You lose nothing by doing so.
Yeah, and that's the last thing I'll say. And for these dudes, and I agree with that standpoint, just wait. Or what you can do is play chess with them. And these floors, all right, they're playing chess. Man, they're playing checkers, not checkers. They're playing chess, and so they're playing the long ball game. As Michael Porter mentioned, they play this whole thing of, they down for you, they all this and this and that, whoop whoop whoop. Hey man, they'll do this for 4, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and then cash out on the back end. They'll do all that on you. So at that point, what's the king without a queen? Hey, bro, she playing chess. So if you are in a position of a Michael Porter Jr. or a Aaron Gordon, I would also either take your advice or also play chess with them. And me personally, since I'm the man and I'm the one with the cash, I'm playing chess with lawyers, contracts, yeah, NDAs. Like there's all this stuff. All of these things are going to be flying around. I'm gonna have all three going on at one time, and they will always be going. I will check in with my lawyer, my accountant, everybody, just to make sure all my bases is covered. So if she decides to pull the rug, 2 years after I retire, I got surprises for her. That rugs got pulled from her ass, and I did it legally with lawyers. This, Drew. So that's my only letter of recommendation for these guys. Basically, creating or paying for an insurance policy so you don't get raked through the coals on the back end. So that's to protect yourself financially. How to protect your heart. That's a whole nother dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And if you decided to go for that bait, I'm sorry, bro. That was on you, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, those types of women, like you mentioned, that hang out at lobbies, the ones that's thirst trapping online, they're playing chess, bro. And so for Aaron Gordon to run up on a chick, if he ran up on Bloomingdale's ain't got the gall to be searching that. She just happy she's talking to a ball player. You know what I'm saying? She might look that up.
Yeah, I hear Eric Gordon. Hey man, wait until you retire and protect yourself legally as well. I agree with you on that front as well. But the thing with the NDA thing is, I'm doing that even while I'm an active player being single. Is you're not gonna post about me. Every time you come to my place of residence, you're surrendering your phone. You're going to sign a document that says you cannot communicate that we spent the night together. And all of that will be legally binding, so that if you breach any of those terms, you are liable to be sued. So while I'm an active player not pursuing a serious relationship, I'm going to be protecting myself in those various ways for sure. But I'm not going to do anything serious until I retire. I just think that these guys need to just wait until they retire. Don't bother. Let it just wait until you retire. They're not going to not date you while you're an active player just because you tell them you're waiting until retirement. They're still going to date you anyway. You literally lose nothing by just waiting until retirement. You lose nothing.
Facts.